Have you ever felt trapped? Like you're living someone else's life, following rules that don't make sense, or stuck in a situation you can't escape? Today, let's talk about something we all desire: true freedom. Let me share a story that opened my eyes. 2 years ago, I met a man who lived in a tiny house, owned very little, but had the biggest smile I'd ever seen. When I asked about his happiness, he said, "I discovered that freedom isn't about having everything. It's about needing very little." You see, most people think freedom means doing whatever you want. But real freedom goes deeper than that. It's about breaking free from the chains we often don't even realize we're wearing. Other people's expectations, our own fears, society's pressures. I remember the day I realized I wasn't free. I had everything society said I should want: the high-paying job, the nice car, the busy social life. But I felt like a prisoner in a golden cage. Every morning, I'd wake up dreading another day of living someone else's dream. Here's what nobody tells you about freedom. It starts in your mind. Like a bird that's been caged too long, sometimes we need to learn how to fly again. We need to unlearn the limitations we've accepted as truth. You know what's interesting about freedom? It often requires letting go. I learned this from watching leaves in autumn. They don't hold on desperately to the tree. They let go, and in letting go, they find their dance of freedom. Let me tell you about Sarah, a friend who found freedom in an unexpected way. She had a successful career but felt empty inside. One day, she started saying no to things that didn't align with her values. At first, it was scary, but each no to others became a yes to herself. That's when she discovered that freedom often begins with a single brave decision. Think about water for a moment. When it's frozen, it's stuck, rigid, unable to move. But when it melts, it flows freely, finding its own path. Sometimes we need to melt our rigid beliefs and expectations to find our true flow in life. Here's something powerful about the journey to freedom. It's different for everyone. For some, freedom means starting their own business. For others, it's simplifying their life. And for some, it's finding the courage to be themselves in a world that wants them to be like everyone else. I once met an elderly artist who told me, "Freedom isn't about having no responsibilities, it's about choosing your responsibilities." That changed how I saw freedom. It's not about escaping life's demands, it's about living life on your own terms. You know what's funny about freedom? Sometimes we build our own cages. We create prisons out of our comfort zones, our fears, our need for approval. Breaking free starts with recognizing these self-made barriers. Let me share a practical truth about freedom. It requires courage. Every step toward freedom means stepping into uncertainty. It's like learning to walk. You have to be willing to fall to learn how to stand on your own feet. The beauty of freedom is that it grows as you use it. Each small decision to be true to yourself makes the next decision easier. It's like building a muscle. The more you exercise your freedom, the stronger it becomes. Here's something most people miss about freedom. It's not a destination, it's a daily practice. It's in the small choices we make every day. What we say yes to, what we say no to, how we spend our time, where we put our energy. Before we wrap up, remember this. True freedom isn't about breaking all the rules. It's about living by your own truth. It's about having the courage to listen to your heart and the strength to follow where it leads. If this message resonates with you, become part of our community by subscribing to Wisdom Journey. Share your journey to freedom in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take their first step. Don't forget to hit that notification bell to stay connected on this path of liberation and growth. Remember, your journey to freedom begins with a single step, and that step is always yours to take.